Let's talk about the Benedict solution test for reducing sugars. Reducing sugars are sugars that can act as reducing agents during Benedict's test by donating electrons. Now, a reducing agent causes reduction. Okay. These include all monosaccharides, example, glucose and fructose. So all monosaccharides are reducing agents. For disaccharides, there are certain disaccharides that are reducing agents, and then an example is maltose. The main reagent we're going to use here is the Benedict solution, and then it contains these compounds: sodium sulfate, copper sulfate, sodium carbonate, and then sodium citrate. All these are contained in the Benedict solution over here. Now let's see the procedure. Now we will need to obtain liquid food substance. That is what we are going to use. So if the food is already in the liquid state, then we can just go ahead and do our test. But if it is not in the liquid state, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crush the food and then mix with a moderate amount of distilled water. We need distilled water because we don't want any other ions added to the substance. Now we allow it to stand for a while, and then you're going to see that the larger food particles are going to settle at the bottom. So we just pour the water on the surface, and then use that liquid as our test substance. Okay, so we're going to crush the food. After crushing the food, we'll mix it with just a moderate amount of distilled water. After that, we're going to allow it to stand for a while, and then decant the suspension to get our liquid substance. Now our test solution, we're going to take just 2 cm cube of our test sample and put in a test tube. An equal amount of Benedict solution. So if we took 2 cm cube, we're going to add 2 cm cube of Benedict solution to the test tube and swirl, just move in a circular manner the mixture. Now we're going to leave the test tube in boiling water for 5 minutes. So here we have our boiling water. We put our test tube in there. We're going to leave it in there for 5 minutes and then observe a color change. So let's see our observations. Now, if there's no color change, if it still remains blue, that means there is no reducing agent or reducing sugar present. If it changes to green or yellow, that means there are trace amounts or very low amounts of reducing sugars present. An orange color is telling us that there are moderate amounts, and then a brick red color will show that there are large amounts of reducing sugars. So in our observation, if there's no color change, if it still remains blue, no reducing sugar present. A green or yellow precipitate will tell us that there are very small amounts present. Here, an orange color will give us moderate amounts present, and then a brick red will show us that there are large amounts of reducing sugars present.